Yesterday, I drove into the most remote Florida wilderness I could find. And tomorrow, I'll be driving home. But today, I'm gonna have to execute on plan B. I think plan C's in play. It's gotta be 100 degrees here. The plan was simple. Spend 3 days camping in the Apalachicola National Forest, kayak deep into the Bradwell Bay wilderness. But little did I know, the river had other plans. We got two goals. So this river, as it runs through this wilderness, it runs from one road to the other, about a 5-mile stretch. We'll make it all the way to the other end. And hopefully catch a fish along the way. Well, I'm about 5 minutes into this trip. Already gotta take the boat out and move it around this little hill here. Undoubtedly, this is probably not the worst of it here. So I came down from that way, coming up right here. Couldn't make it through that. So I was able to come around this and just pull the boat up. Because this water is so dark, the main tactic catching fish are not dark colored jigs like this one I've been using in other freshwater rivers and creeks. Like a bright colored spinnerbait or chatterbait makes a lot of noise, so gotta find something that fits that bill. So I found this little guy right here, little chatterbait. It's a dark colored chatterbait, so it might not be the best, but I realized that I didn't pack the best baits for this river. Oh! And something hit it. Well, I'm just getting started on this little adventure, and this little pocket here is giving me no luck, so keep moseying on down the river. It's hard to describe just how quiet it is. So before this came a national forest and a protected wilderness area, got some pretty interesting legends to it. The first one goes during the logging boom, late 1800s, early 1900s. They came through this area of the Panhandle and just were wiping out these longleaf pines and all this good lumber, and all these good trees that are used for lumber. But supposedly there's a 12-acre stand of longleaf pines somewhere in this 60,000 acres of wilderness area. But in doing my research online and whatnot, there's absolutely nothing that talks about where it is. Nothing. It's another one of those ways that shows you just how formidable and defensive Mother Nature can be in protecting herself. There's a low limb right there. Don't hit me. Not today. Well, not yet anyway. I'm sure it'll happen at some point. Big old fallen tree right there. I just beached right there. Real shallow right here. I have to get out and walk the boat right here. The further you go upstream, the shallower it gets. If you go back that way downstream, it eventually kicks you out into the Gulf. It's completely dark right there. No idea how deep it is, so I'm gonna try to pull the boat up and get in it. start wading just yet. Definitely got to stay hydrated on a day like today. It's hot. I don't know what the temperature is. I'm so far deep in the wilderness. No cell service, so I can't tell. Got a abandoned ship here. All this right here. Started running into a lot more of those things like this, and it's really shallow. You see right here? It's gotten real shallow up through here. Whew. Starting to wonder if it's a good idea or not. So my backup plan, plan B, is gonna be dump the kayak, pick the bag up, hike my way back to the truck. Either this way or that way. They don't have to come back to where I dump the kayak and drag the kayak out to wherever the road is, pick it up, take it back to camp. That can make for a really long day and possibly a long night, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that don't happen. Oh look, oh. I was listening, I heard something over here. I heard a turkey over here. I'm gonna see if I can slip up on him. So all these palmettos over here, that's good cover. If I can sneak up on him. It's definitely not turkey season, but I just want to take a look at him. He's right there somewhere. I can hear him. I lost him. He was right there somewhere. Definitely not a turkey call. When I was a kid, that's what we should call the horses, but I can't do a turkey call with just my mouth. Get that out through there. That is a stick. It's probably only maybe chest high. All right, I gotta get back to the boat, make some tracks. I checked the map a minute ago. It's about 10:30 right now, and I'm less than a mile in this little trip. So I gotta pick it up. I won't make it back before dark. I tell you what, you notice the difference between walking out there and walking over here. Like that temperature, it's got to drop at least 5 or 6, 7 degrees. Once you get next to this little river here, actually feels pretty good. Got to jump out and paddle through this little current here. Just jumped the first gator right there. Couldn't get the camera on quick enough, but I don't think he was very big. Trying to wait and see where he comes up at. Must be far enough in here now. It's just pretty much back in here. It's also going to be that time of day where you'll find them on these banks, on these sandbars, sunning, trying to get warm because they're cold-blooded. There's a deep hole right over there. A lot of times you find those fish in a bend as you come around the creek or river. Man, thought I had something there. One of them old tree fish. I just came across the confluence of this little creek right here. It goes back out that way. And the river that I've been floating right here. So I'm gonna stop right here for a minute and probably try to do a little fishing. Maybe get some lunch and see how far I am from the end of this thing. there. This isn't far off the main channel here where it ties into that river. Looks like a nice little deep pocket to fish. Let's go check it out. Dang, thought I had a bump. Oh, man. Ooh. Man, that feels good. Ooh. Oh, man, hard to describe how good that feels. A whole bunch of little minnows right here. So I just happened to bring my lawn chair with me. I'm gonna put in the water here and do a little chilling. Oh man. Like a little redneck Riviera here. So before we left camp this morning, I filled up this thing with clean water. So it just ran out. I'm gonna give me a refill. So the great thing about these things is this comes off right here. This little thing at the bottom of here is a filter. So to filter out all the bad stuff. On these kind of days I usually pack pretty light. Just bring a couple protein bars and eat a big supper when I get back to camp. Hopefully. That should taste pretty good. One of the things I usually like to do, but didn't do for this trip, was bring some electrolytes. One, they replenish your electrolytes as you lose them throughout days like this when it's super hot. But then two, when you're filtering water like this right here, or any other kind of water out of a river, a lake or creek, makes it taste better. So the second legend about this place has to do with a World War II Army fighter pilot. There used to be an old Air Force base probably 20-30 miles east of here, and they would regularly fly drills over this area. And one day this undisclosed name was flying over this area, and one of his engines failed, and he ended up crashing into this area, into this wilderness. The guy had no idea where he was or really how to get out. So when he sent out his distress signal, his CO, his commander back at the Air Force base, or back at the Army base, sent out a search team that got together loggers, surveyors, and folks from the Army that knew the area. And they came in here, they looked 3, 4, 5 days for the guy, and they finally found him, worn out, battered, beaten down, was still alive though, and they got him out of here. But they didn't find his airplane until the 1990s. He crashed in 1942 or 1943. That tells you just how formidable this place is and can be. 50 years to find something as big as an airplane, or should I say small as an airplane, in a place like this. So I just checked the map. Only about a mile and a half in here, and it's about lunchtime now. Tracking pretty slow at this point. Got another 3.5 miles to go, get to the end of this thing, and then I get back to the truck, so gotta push it. Into the deep we go. Real narrow through here. Real shallow. Man, these little cypress knees right below the water's edge. Can't see they're there yet. Hung up on them. How's a doozy? Probably the hardest one yet. Dang, it's gonna be tricky right here. Not as bad as I thought it'd be. It's pretty tight though. Push me out. Ooh. Toast now. Shit. So I'm at a crossroads here. It's taken me probably 4 hours to get to this point, which is probably a little under 2 miles in. And I still got another 3 miles to go, and all the stuff ahead of me looks like this. It is becoming increasingly impassable. My time has slowed down significantly in like the last mile. I'm actually pretty sure I'm not gonna be able to make it all the way to the end of this thing and hike back to the truck before it gets too dark. So what I'm thinking here, I'm gonna have to execute on plan B. So I know a road is several hundred yards that way somewhere. I don't know exactly where. And I ran across a couple low points back here. So I'm thinking about floating back to the first low point, pulling out and hiking and dragging the boat back to the road. And then I'm gonna hike the road back to camp and then come back get the boat. Hopefully I can remember where this bank is up here. The water levels have to be between 10 and 14 feet. And it's right at 10 and a half feet right now. So this is about the lowest it can be and still get through here. So what I'm gonna do here is go check that out real quick and then probably drag that boat through that thick palmettos and pine trees that we saw back over this way. Let's go scout our way out of here. Ooh, that's it. I just walked up there a little bit to scout the route out of here. It's thick. As you can see, like all that, it's incredibly thick. It's even hard to walk through. So I think plan C's in play. Back to the river and then float it back to where we started. That's the only real option here. Because dragging it won't happen. River should be right up here, from what I remember. It's got to be 100 degrees here. I don't know in what world maybe think that was going to work, but didn't even come close. So here I am thinking I'm gonna have an easy ride back to the truck or camp. I'm listening to a thunder right now. Sounds like we got some rain coming in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and start getting the kayak back together, put the poles up, life jacket up, everything back to the way it was before, and then probably cook some supper up and get to bed early because we got one more thing to do tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my rain flap on my tent here because a couple weeks ago I took the kids camping and I didn't put it on and my stuff got wet. You want to see that video? I'll link it right here. You know, there's a few things I would have done differently. Knowing what I now know about this river at the start of this morning, I definitely would have started on the other end. Because the mistake I made was starting on the wider end, but I had to go upstream. And on the way back, I got here way quicker and really didn't have to paddle that much. So I should have started on the other end, paddle this way, and then hike back there. But you know what they say, you live, you learn. But for me personally, it's more about the journey than the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Well, as fate would have it, the last place I want to explore is closed. That just goes to show you, no matter how well you plan it, think about it, still may not work out. That's the real lesson here. But Andy's got a little soccer party I gotta go help out with. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next adventure.